So here we are at the end of row 7. I'm going to put the last stitch in. And I'm going to mark it off. You know, I came outside because there was noise. But, you know, animals, lawnmowers, people doing things. Toads my goats. So this is what it looks like. There's our little nose. And this is at the end of row 5 through 7. And I guess I didn't specify that. When it has this, the rounds 5 to 7, that means for each one, you just do this instruction. So for 5, 6, and 7. Seems kind of obvious in retrospect, but okay. 8. Single crochet in the next 7 stitches. Place marker. Increase 4 times. Place marker. Single crochet in the next 7 stitches. So I guess we're going to start shaping now. And I'm going to grab another marker, a different color, I suppose, for clarification's sake. Hey, get back in there, stitch markers. Knock it off. I'm making a mess. So. I'm going to start my row. I'm gonna move my first stitch marker. We're gonna keep that. We don't want to lose that. The roosters are gonna make their opinion known. Like so, like that. Okay, here we go. Now that's 1. And it's single crochet in the next 7, so we need 6 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we'll count. So here's our starting stitch. So 2, 4, 6. Hey, that's only 6. I must have switched the ways I was counting. 7. Let's check again. Make sure we're not crazy. 2, 4, 6, 7. Perfect. Now, place marker. I'm going to place the marker on the top of the stitch we just worked because that seems what's reasonable to me. And then we're going to increase 4 times. So the next 4 stitches we're going to do an increase. So 2 single crochet in each of the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, don't do that. Pull this up gently, slip back in there, and I was on 4, so 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a thing that I like to, the way I like to count if I have to do a lot of increases or whatever. Because 4 increases is 8 stitches. And I think it's simpler that way. Okay. Place marker, increase, place marker. Oh, okay. I need another stitch marker. They don't even tell you need stitch markers in this thing. Seems kind of silly. So I'm going to place this, I guess, here. And then single crochet in the next 7 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So that's the end of that row. I'm going to mark that off. So next we have single crochet in the next 4 stitches, increase. Single crochet in the next 5 stitches, increase. And we're going to repeat that. So we're going to do it twice. And this is, I imagine, for shaping as much as increasing. I'm gonna tuck, before I put any like fill in it, I'll tie that down and weave it in properly. But for now, I'm just gonna tuck that in there because it's kind of getting on my nerves. So. Okay, so it's starting to get a little bit windy. So single crochet in the next 4. So I'm gonna do my first single crochet, move my stitch marker, marking my first stitch of the row. And then I need 3 more single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, for a total of 2, 4. Increase, so 2 in the next. 1, 2. Then single crochet in the next 5. So we're just going to work around our stitch markers. So 1, 2, and I'm just going to kind of tuck him over and go over. 3, 4, 5, increase. So 2 in the next. 1, 2, and then back again to the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, increase. Did I do the first increase? Yeah, I did. 2, 4, yeah, that's an increase right there, a little window. Okay, now I'm gonna work around this guy. We're gonna kind of just go behind and then come under. 1, 2, and then single crochet in the next 5. 1, 2. Hey. Pull it up gently. So I was on 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the increase is our last stitch of the row. So 2 in the same for the increase. Where did my pen go? What have I done with it? Is it in my pocket? Yes. Okay. Round 10, single crochet in the next 5 stitches, increase. Single crochet in the next 6 stitches, increase 2 times. So we're doing basically, it's the same thing, increasing in the same spot to aid in our shaping, but with the accounting for the added stitches we did. So we're going to just go ahead and start. Move this. Hey, get back here. That's not where you go. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5. I like to double check sometimes. Increase. And then single crochet in the next 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't blow away, paper. Increase. 1, 2, and you can see how we're starting to shape a little head here. Now what? Single crochet in the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that. Stop that. Okay. Where was I? Here's my last double. So 2, 4. This is a 5. So now we increase. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we're just gonna take that one out. I keep making the instinctual no dog, don't do that noise for this household when the paper does what I don't want it to do. And then our increase for the last stitch. Very good. Very nice. Very good, very nice. That's not where we want to be. Okay. Now, rounds 11 through 17, again, are just single crocheting in each stitch around. So, I guess before we do those, 2, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I will count the stitches because after you do, you know, before you do that many rows in the round, you kind of want to know you're doing it in the right amount of stitches. So here's our first stitch. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. Perfect. So I'm going to do these rows just like I did the last one. Each time I'm going to mark off and move my stitch marker up one. I'm going to leave these guys in here, which I assume are for marking the eyes. And then I will turn this back on after I'm done these rows. Okay, so this is after row 17. I think it looks a little bit dragony, personally, at the moment. My next row is a decrease row. So first, I'm going to turn this inside out, and I'm going to tie down the end here, and then I'm gonna weave in the end. It doesn't really seem to need it, but it just, you know, is a thing that I like to do. So I'm gonna thread hey, get back here. Thread this through. We're almost done the head portion. I'm gonna tighten this, and then I'm just gonna loop under a nearby stitch, and then I'm gonna hold this end so it can't pull it through. Pull my tail through. Go under my loop. Pull it tight. Okay, and then I'm just gonna weave this in and around for funsies. Even though technically with it tied, I don't really think it's necessary, but we're just gonna weave this around. And I could trim it or I could not, and I don't really need to, so I'm not going to, because it's just gonna be inside. So now our next row is to single crochet in the next 3 stitches, single crochet 2 together, which is the opposite of an increase. It's where 1 single crochet is worked across 2 stitches, We're gonna do that 6 times, and then we'll be adding the eyes and the cheeks, which is generally speaking my weakest point, because I'm not very good at the fit and finish. Everything always ends up looking, and I don't see, these are our markers for our eyes, and because of the way in the round works, they look like they're on different rows. So I think I'll do this one on top, and yeah, I don't know. But anyways, moving on, moving right along, doing things. Here we go. What are we doing? Single crochet in the next 3, single crochet 2 together. So this is 1. Let's see, we split our yarn here, so I'm just gonna carefully nudge that back through. So 1, and then we're gonna move our stitch marker. 1, 2, 3. So here we go with our decrease. We're gonna insert under the first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, insert immediately into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3. Just like I say how the double crochets make that little window, I find that these make a little bump, and that with practice they usually become somewhat visible just from looking at a project. So now we're going to just do that again all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, and then another decrease. So under the first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, immediately under the second, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3, tighten her down a little. 1, 2, 3, decrease, here's our last decrease. Okay, now I don't like French knots very much. I don't believe that I'm very good at them. However, we will give it a go. So for the French knots, you need the black they give you and the tapestry needle. And I'm gonna do these, I'm not gonna connect the yarn inside, like I'm gonna do one cut and then do the other, because otherwise I feel like it shows through. So the basic premise, I've watched tutorials and I know how you do them. They never seem to work out right for me. You come up from the bottom, and then, well, I guess, let's see. I guess we'll do one here. So you come up from the bottom. Don't pull your yarn all the way through. And then come down here and you wrap the yarn around the tip of your thread here, like twice or so, I guess. And then in a different spot, no, see, tighten back down. Stop doing everything that you're doing. I'm holding the other end, by the way, underneath. so that it can't come out. But nearby, so not in the exact same spot, we're gonna go back down. I guess we'll do it. I guess we'll go through here. Go through here. So we're holding our other end and we're gonna say, all you stay here where you're supposed to stay. You're gonna pull this through. That doesn't look too bad, I guess. I guess we'll take the stitch marker out, even though I'm wary too, because I'll probably end up redoing this. Okay, I guess that isn't so bad. So then you just kind of gently tug, gently, you don't want to pull it all the way back through or get it too tight on your ends to sort of keep it in place. So how do we think that looks? Depressed? See, I always think they look depressed. Maybe if we tighten it a tiny bit more. I'm gonna regret this. Okay, a little bit more. All right, that's kind of worse depressed, but we're gonna roll with it. So now, because I can't be stopped, I'm gonna turn this over. I should probably take the needle out of my mouth. I'm gonna hold this so that it can't tighten down anymore. And I'm gonna do a quick little, don't you love this expert tying skill ability? So good at things. So that this can't come undone. You don't want to tighten it too much because then it'll get really tiny or pull through and do all kinds of stuff we don't want it to do. Okay. So that's that. Did we ruin it? No, it looks okay. It's not like the best thing in the world, but it looks okay. Okay, I'm gonna cut these ends. After I'm gonna insert this under here so I don't I'm gonna tighten that. And then I'm gonna cut these ends because otherwise they show through the fabric, which is what I learned the first time I was doing this. Now, I don't know a whole lot about French knots. I imagine they would probably be kind of a weak point as far as like coming out if somebody was yanking on them or whatever, playing with it a lot. But that's my most successful French knot that I got. That's what I got. So now we gotta do another one of those. It looks too small. This looks like a tiny depressed, all right, whatever. All right, so we need another one over here. Here we go again. French knots. I'm not very good at them. Okay, so we got our needle ready. Now we are, I think this time, gonna come up like inside this stitch because of reasons. Namely, I should take this stitch marker out now. So I shall. Okay. So we're gonna come up through. Okay, we're gonna bring our needle down. Does it need to be behind? Does it matter? I can't remember. Wrap this. Maybe it does need to. Maybe it doesn't matter. Wrap this around. No. Okay. See, the problem is I'm trying not to use too much of this in case I need it for something else. But I don't know that we do need it for anything else, so I'm just being stingy for no reason. Okay. Wrap this around. Okay. Now, We're gonna pull this. And I guess we'll go back in underneath and hope that this isn't ruined. Okay, here we go. Okay. That one's smaller. Okay, tighten up a little bit, but not too much. Okay. Shape you down a little bit. Okay. So now I think they look kind of similar in size. And I see that there's a little, there, a little tuft. And if I cared, maybe I would trim it, and maybe I will later. But for now, we are going to carefully do this. And we're going to give this a little tie while holding the other end to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. So tighten you down a little. Not a lot. I'm going to do it again because I'm a double knotter at heart. Then I'm going to do the same thing I did before, which is use that to prevent it from tightening it down too much and just give it a good tug. How we looking? Okay, that's not the worst that I've done, except that really is bothering me. And this probably isn't how you do this, but we're just gonna do that. And then we're gonna trim the edges, the ends, rather. Okay. Now we have placed the eyes. And now we're gonna do the cheeks, which really just looks like a single line of pink. Okay, why are you so messy? Stop being messy. See, these are my previous pinks. Should we reuse them or should we? No, look how fuzzy that is. Get new pink. Stop being so stingy, self. Here is the pink. And let's see. So I guess there's a number of ways you could do this. Let's not lose that loop. But I'm just literally going to come up, go down, and tie, because from the picture, it's just a little line. It's not even, whatever that one's called that I forget. It's not even that one. So, let's see, they're basically right under there. Kind of thick, though. Or maybe the eyes are just small. So maybe they go around twice. So it's basically directly under and sort of wider then. So I guess we'll come out here. Okay. And go in here, do we think? Just pull that through. Not losing my end. Do we think we should do it again? Can we even reach to do it again? What do we think? It looks real lopsided to me right now, personally. Let's try. So if we come out again, same spot, and go in again, we'll see how this looks. The first time I only did one and it looked kind of... think that that works. So for now, we're just gonna trim this carefully and do the next one. And then just take care of both ends when we turn it inside out. Okay, so I think the equivalent is like here and here maybe? They don't seem to be in exactly the same spot. We're gonna come out here. Hey, get back in there. Come out here. Go in, I guess, here. And actually, since we know we're going around twice, I'll just do it now and I'll insert back into the same spot. And then back through. We'll tighten that up a little. At the very least, looks a little less depressed. So let's trim that. I'm gonna put this pink away. Okay. Now, we don't want to, again, tighten these too much. No, don't put that in your mouth, then you can't talk. So we're just gonna do a little same thing. Not too tight, and then the second one will make more secure. Okay, are you tightening too much? Okay, we don't want to lose our cheeks either. Okay. One eye is bigger than the other. Can we do anything about that now? Why not? That's a mistake to do. Okay. See, this is gonna come undone. How are you supposed to secure black thread? All right. Maybe we'll put some glue on this, honestly, because I don't know how you're supposed to secure black thread in a white background without it showing through. So for funsies, we'll put some hot glue on that before we finish the head, maybe. Or maybe we won't, because I don't particularly care if the eyes fall out. Okay, we're looking kind of sad over here, but that's okay. So we have completed. If you're more you know, artsy than me. Oh hey, I didn't mark off row 18. I'm sure that you'll have a better time. I always struggle with this portion. Okay, so we did that. Stuff head is where we're at now. So we want to stuff it, you know, firmly enough. Let's say does it mention? No, I don't see. So a little bit, it might be to preference. I'm just gonna leave the pink ends in there because they don't show through as badly as the black did previously. And I'm gonna get some stuffing. And actually, this is the amount that I used the first time, which was just sort of stuffing some in and then seeing how it felt. So gonna shove this in here. And I'm just sort of lightly packing. Not like brown sugar packing. I had all this in here? I guess by the time I was closing it at the top. And then we're gonna see how much of the rest of this wants to be in there, which is not all of it. Now, crocheting from now on, you're basically going to be running your hook into this stuff, and it's going to probably catch little threads and pull it as you go, etc., etc., etc. You can try to avoid it. It'll most likely happen anyway. So, not bad, I guess. We'll stuff a little more once we work up the rest of the way. So now we are single crocheting in the next 2 stitches for round 19, and then decreasing 6 times, which will make this quite a bit smaller. So here we go. So had a look at it. When people ask me what I mean, I say. Okay, so 2 stretches. So this is 2. And then decrease. Decrease. I kind of push down on the stuffing as I get to each spot to try to limit the amount that gets caught up in my hook, because it's really annoying to me. 1, 2. Nope, catch the whole loop under there. This is a decrease, right? One, 2. Now don't pull these like you're still pulling, kind of, you know, tightening up a little, but trying to keep the same tension around. Decrease. Okay. So that's that row, shaping the back of the head. And see, you can see a little bit of, all right, single crochet in the next, decrease. So now we're just alternating decreases and single crochets. So we're gonna get even smaller. Maybe we won't use any more stuffing. Maybe we stuffed it too much the first time. Oh, there's chickens yelling at. Technically, I guess they're roosters. Okay, single crochet, decrease, stay here, paper. So now with decreases specifically, sometimes since it's stretched to the side, it can be easy to think that this is your next stitch because it's so big still, but just separate it out a little and check, and you'll see that your stitches worked around that one. But decreases specifically, because it's so far to the side, it can trick you sometimes. Okay. Very good. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Straighten up, eyes. Okay. Let's cross that one off. Now, we just have one more round for the head, which is a decrease all the way around 6 times. So since this is a decrease, I'm going to go ahead and take this one out this time. Pop it back in. Honestly, with just 6 stitches, I could just count to keep track. But you know, you never know what may happen, so. Second decrease. Third decrease. It's gonna get kind of like tight, but that's, you know, the goal. We want it to close up. So just keep working around. And then here's our last one. Okay. So that's our last row for this one, for the head. So now we're gonna fasten off, leaving a tail for sewing. Not really sure how I used so much more yarn the first time, but that's fine. To fasten off, I'm just gonna slip stitch to the first stitch we made. So insert under the stitch, bring up a loop, pull it through there. That can't be it. That wasn't the tail I left for sewing, but I must have just, I don't know, used more. This is way more than me. Okay, we're gonna cut some of this actually. Hey. Okay, so we tighten that back up a little. We're gonna leave a tail for sewing on. We're gonna take our stitch marker out, and that's the head done, which I think doesn't look too bad. So that's it for now. We're gonna put this away. Still think it looks depressed, and next time I guess we start on neck and body.